So I think we were discussing about the economy of medieval period, and we discussed agricultural economy of Sultanate. Historians are of the opinion that, and they have given certain evidences also, when Turkish rule started, they have taken into consideration the population ratio of this country and population density of this country. There are many examples, they have quoted many examples, like for example they have quoted the example of Nizamuddin Aulia, who says that there was so dense forest between Delhi and Badaयूं, the traders were always afraid of lion and tiger. If lion and tiger were residing in the area between Delhi and Badaयूं, that means forest was very dense. Then we get the example about Balban clearing the forest to deal with Mewatis and Katayar Rajputs and all. So historians of the opinion that population was very low, which is true also. Although there was no medium to go for the population census, no medium, we don't have any access to the population census of that period. But through many evidences, we come to the conclusion that population was not high. So land was so much available for agriculture, right? Expansion. Although there is no medium to find out the population. There is no medium to find out the population of medieval period. But then, on the basis of many examples, historians are of the opinion that 13th to 14th century, the land people ratio was very favorable for agricultural expansion. The land people ratio was very favorable for agricultural expansion. Very favorable for agricultural expansion. Historians have cited many examples, like according to Nizamuddin Aulia, traders have always reported about the lions creating the trouble for them. Traders have always reported about the lions creating the trouble for them in this area. Lions creating the trouble for them in this area. Later on we see, before that, Nizamuddin Aulia's, before that we see that Balban to maintain law and order later on we see that Balban to maintain law and order cleared the forest of this area to a larger extent. Cleared the forest of this area to a larger extent. Till Akbar, large part of Ganga Doab, was free from forest and was ready for agriculture. Was free from forest and was ready for agriculture. So, a major factor in the increase in agricultural production was larger cultivation by the farmers on a larger area. Cultivation by the farmers on a larger area and the support provided by Alauddin Khilji, Muhammad bin Tughlaq, Firoz Shah Tughlaq, etc. And the support provided by Alauddin Khilji, Muhammad bin Tughlaq, Firoz Shah Tughlaq, etc. Liberation, promotion, protection, expansion. Simple 4 words. Nothing to do. Simply 4 words. Agricultural economy. The graph is clear. So next heading, urban economy, urban. Second heading, urban economy. The 4 features of urban economy: cities, trade and commerce, commercial class, and currency system, plus transport and communication. Urban economy. Now, what is the difference between second urbanization and third urbanization? Are they the same? Because features are same here. So first thing, are they same? Same. Second urbanization and third urbanization. Feature, structure is same. Again, cities, trade and commerce, commercial classes, currency system, transport and communication. तो क्या दोनों एक ही हैं? अगर दोनों एक हैं, if both are same, why to take pain? If they are different, what are the factors responsible for this difference? My motive is what I said beginning of the class, that you should know the changes and connectivity past and all the developments and how Britishers changed the entire agricultural sector, how the 3 devils became unbridled during British period. The 3 devils, Zamindar, Mahajan, Moneylender, how they were used as a suction pump, कैसे सोने की चिड़िया को लूटा गया. The point is second urbanization and third urbanization. Ancient India is a story of second urbanization, first and second urbanization. Are they the same or they are different? If they are different, what are the factors which are responsible for the difference? What was the most important factor for the re-emergence of cities in Sultanate period. First heading, cities. What are the two pillars of urbanization? Oh. Okay, let it be here only. Two pillars of urbanization. First pillar, agricultural surplus. Second pillar, internal and external trade and commerce. Agriculture surplus was present, but it was taken away by the feudal lords and middlemen, and this was the reason for the poverty of the state and the people. Now Sultanate period, four developments took place: liberation, promotion, protection, expansion. And surplus again started moving to the state and the people. This we have discussed. Surplus again started moving to the state and the people. In ancient period, this surplus was because of iron ore, giving momentum to agricultural tools and implements, plus technological developments like paddy transplantation. Second, internal momentum to internal trade and commerce, internal and external trade and commerce. So internal, external trade and commerce. This internal and external trade and commerce, internal trade and commerce because of Gahpati, and external trade and commerce because of Persians and Greeks. You know, they connected northwestern India directly with Silk Route. We discussed about Darius I and Alexander. Here, Sultanate period, external trade and commerce, route C was connected by route B and D. D, this is important. D, route C got connected by route B and D. Route B during Sultanate period, a larger part of Sultanate period, route B was under Mongol domination. Sultanate was weak. Overland trade was generally avoided by merchants. Overland trade was generally avoided by merchants because Mongol uprising, Mongol unrest. And as Marathas believe in Chauth and Sardeshmukhi, tribal societies, they don't believe in stability. Mongols became stable only when they got Islamized, Persianized and Islamized. Before that, people avoided. Multan was a very important center for overland trade, overland. On route B, a very important center was Multan. During Sultanate period. Now Iltutmish, Balban, during their time, route B and C were in trouble. Genghis Khan was running from here and there. We have discussed how during Iltutmish and Balban, write it, otherwise later on you will forget. During Iltutmish and Balban, overland trade, route B and C was in big trouble, right? During Iltutmish and Balban, overland trade, overland trade via route B and C was in trouble. Because of Mongol challenge. On northwestern India and Central Asia. Mongol challenge on northwestern India, and Central Asia. Although Alauddin Khilji was successful, to control the Mongols beyond Hindustani frontiers, but to give momentum to third urbanization, overseas trade was a big option for him. Especially Gujarat. Overseas trade was a big option for him, especially Gujarat. According to Tom Payer, inbox the name. According to Tom Payer, route A, northwestern India, and route A was facing Mongol unrest. According to Tom Payer, the European traveler in early 15th century, Cambay, what in Hindi you call Khambat, Cambay. According to Tom Payer, the European traveler in early 16th century, Cambay, had two arms. One was connected with Aden and other was connected with Malacca. Aden. So the ports, Aden, Basra, Hormuz, Cambay, and Malacca. So east and southeast East and southeast. West, sorry. West and southeast. West and southeast was connected by the overseas trade. West and southeast was connected by the overseas trade. In second urbanization, what is important? Overland trade. In third urbanization, what is important? Overseas trade. See, this is the first difference between second urbanization and third urbanization. Second urbanization. Third urbanization. Route A plus B, promoting overland trade. During Sultanate period, route C plus D, promoting overseas trade. This is the first difference between second urbanization and third urbanization. Agricultural surplus, trade and commerce. There agricultural surplus because of iron and technological development. Here agricultural surplus because of liberation, promotion, expansion, protection. That is why Magad is very much bothered about route B. Now in Mughal period what will happen? Mongols are Persianized and Islamized. Central and West Asia is under a strong central rule. Chinese, Hindustanis, Arabs and Europeans, इन चार के बीच खेल शुरू होगा. बड़ा प्यारा खेल. Urbanization. In totality, the two pillars of urbanization: agriculture and trade and commerce. Ancient period, agriculture surplus because of iron ore and technological development. Third urbanization because of liberation, promotion, protection, expansion. Trade and commerce, internal trade and external trade. Internal trade, same reason. Liberation. External trade, the role of route C and D. That is why it became compulsion for Delhi Sultans. If they have to give promotion to third urbanization, it became compulsion for Delhi Sultans to control Gujarat, to have presence in Deccan, to have presence in South India. So third urbanization. The reason for, now let's start the 4 points: cities, trade and commerce, commercial class, currency system. Internal trade. अब तुम एक compare करो ना. That is why I have given you both the diagrams. See, second urbanization, agricultural surplus. Why? Iron ore and technology, paddy transplantation. In between these two, you have the feudal period. Agriculture surplus is present, but it is going into the hand of feudal lords and middlemen. Who liberated? Sultans. External trade, here external trade, here internal trade because of Gahpati. Ancient India, external trade because of Gahpati, rich farmers. Internal trade, liberation. Ancient India external trade, route A plus B. Who gave a strong empire in Central and West Asia? Achaemenids and Greeks, Darius I and Alexander, and then Mauryans. So overland trade, route A and B, second urbanization, are dominant in second urbanization. Third urbanization, who's dominant? Route C and D. Cambay, ये देखो बेटा डायग्राम दिया इसीलिए मैंने, ये देखो ये कैम्बे. एडन, वेयर इज एडन? कहां है एडन? ये गल्फ ऑफ एडन. सोमालिया में, इथियोपिया में है एडन. जुबूती, ये है गल्फ ऑफ एडन. हाँ, यमन के नीचे गल्फ ऑफ एडन. गल्फ ऑफ एडन कौन है? रेड सी. गल्फ ऑफ एडन, रेड सी. बसरा, ये है बसरा, इराक. बसरा, गल्फ ऑफ, पर्शियन गल्फ. हॉर्मुज, ईरान. हॉर्मुज, मस्कट, पर्शियन गल्फ, इंडिया, अरेबियन सी, इंडियन ओशन. अब क्लियर? रूट डी बेटा, साउथ चाइना सी टू इंडियन ओशन, टू अरेबियन सी, टू पर्शियन गल्फ, टू रेड सी एंड मेडिटेरेनियन सी. रूट ए, सिल्क रूट, adjoining China, Central Asia, West Asia, Europe. The lifeline of the trade between East and West. Route B. Route B, northern path. The route starts from Takshila to Tamralipti. Tamralipti now in Bangladesh. Takshila to Delhi, Delhi to Lucknow, Lucknow to Varanasi, Varanasi to Dhanbad, and then reaching to Haldia. This route is the connecting link between Indochina, Cambodia, Vietnam, Indochina, which was called as Golden Land. Then you have Route C. This was called as Southern Path. Starting from Ujjain to Deccan to South India. This route connected Route A with Southeast Asia. Indonesia, Malaysia, and they were called as Golden Island. Now this route, this area, this dangerous area, very dangerous. Why? Geographical condition, plateau, desert. The history of this area is the history of war. Terrain creates the character. यहां तुम्हें कोई नहीं मिलेगा नॉन वायलेंस की बात करते हुए. You will not find rarity of rare. And if any ruler would have talked about non-violence, he would have been beaten. Survival of the fittest. Struggle for existence. So whenever this route was in trouble, now West Europe cannot survive without East. Spices are required. Spices were used as a preservative plus medicine. Today you have allopathy, na? So whenever this route was in trouble, today also this route is in trouble. So silk used to come from China to Indochina. Spices used to come from Southeast Asia to Indochina. That is why that area was called as Golden Land. From Indochina to Bengal, from Bengal to Ujjain, from Ujjain to Gujarat, from Gujarat to Persian Gulf, from Persian Gulf to Aden, West Asia, Europe, Africa and West Asia, Red Sea, and from Red Sea to Europe. This was route D. This was called as Maritime Silk Route. Adjoining 4 seas, 4 समंदर को जोड़ दी थी. First one, South China Sea. Second, Arabian Sea. Bay of Bengal. Third, Arabian. Fourth, Mediterranean. Up clear? Now it is clear. In second urbanization, emphasis was on route A plus B. In third urbanization, emphasis was on route C plus D. This was the reason that Alauddin is eager to occupy Gujarat. In second urbanization, external trade got promotion because of the connection between A and B. In third urbanization, connection between C plus D. The two pillars are same, agricultural surplus and trade and commerce, but there is a difference in approach of both pillars in second urbanization and third urbanization. This is to be clear. Now, cities. So agriculture surplus and trade and commerce again got promotion, but now the story is different. Cities. Second urbanization. Third urbanization. And I will give you fourth urbanization also. India. Independent India. फिर ऐसे लिखना तुम खूब ऐसे लिखना जम कर 150, 160, 180. If you get 150 marks, below 150 marks in essay, तो तुम्हारे तो कपड़े फाड़ के मारे जाएंगे लड़के जो हैं. लड़कियां तो वैसे भी उनको कुछ बोलने की जरूरत ही नहीं, वैसे ही मर जाती बेचारी। सिटीज, विच सिटी? राजगीर, वैशाली, मथुरा, पाटलिपुत्र, विच सिटी? दिल्ली, मुल्तान, पाटन, अनिलवाड़ा गुजरात, लखनऊती, Bengal. Again the cities are rising. In between, cities were mainly the tents of kings and armies and his army, and were movable from one place to another. Third urbanization, Delhi, Multan, Patan, लखनऊती। ऐसे 3 फिगर नीचे बनाएंगे, ऐसे ही द सेम फिगर विल बी बिलो इट, सेम 3 ब्लॉक्स, कंटिन्यूटी होगा इसका। Reasons for cities mainly agriculture surplus, internal demand, external demand, role of the state. Agriculture surplus, misled, moving into the hands of feudal lords. Internal demand is replaced by self-sufficient economy, not ended. Don't say ended. If you write ended, they will tear up your answer sheet. It is replaced by self-sufficient economy. External demand, dormant. It's present, but it is dormant. State, is replaced by feudal principalities. अब देखो, what are the reasons for the re-emergence of cities? First reason, first, Headquarters and capitals. Headquarters and capitals. Initially, Turks had headquarters. Indraprastha. Indraprastha is a headquarter. Indraprastha, headquarter of Aibak, Qutbuddin Aibak. But then Lahore and Delhi became the capitals. This was the first reason. With the beginning of a state system, emergence of headquarters and capitals. Indraprastha was initially a headquarter, but later on Lahore and Delhi became the capital. Second, very important reason. If you don't write this word in your examination, in your answer sheet, bada pyara word. Second reason, most crucial reason, induced trade. This is the word used by historians. Induced trade is the most important reason for emergence of cities during third urbanization. What is the main reason here? Surplus, promotion to internal external trade, role of state. Here the main reason is induced trade, induced. Just go and ask today. All those people who have history optional, ask them. What was the main reason for the re-emergence of cities in second, third urbanization? Induced trade. What is this induced trade? Note it. Note. Definition. Definition. Trade resulting from the compulsions of land revenue system. Trade resulting from the compulsions of land revenue system. Is called as induced trade. Trade resulting from the compulsion of land revenue system. Alauddin Khilji uncle. Alauddin Khilji says from Meerut to Kada in kind, elsewhere cash. These grain dealers, one was the trade between village and town, and second was inter-town. I'll discuss in the third point, don't worry. Here you simply keep in mind induced trade. Trade resulting because of compulsion of land revenue system. How it was resulting, that we will discuss in third point. This was the second reason, induced trade. Third reason, dominancy of nobles and amirs in urban areas. Dominancy of nobles and amirs in urban areas resulting in the demand of general commodities and luxury goods. Dominancy of nobles and amirs in urban areas resulting in the demand of general commodities and luxury goods. कपड़ा चाहिए, खाना चाहिए, सबसे बड़ी बात कंस्ट्रक्शन करवाना है, फूड, शेल्टर एंड क्लोथिंग. And fourth, role of state. Now production was basically of two types. Urban production, urban production, urban was basically of two types. First one, domestic system and putting out system. Domestic. Today also you will see domestic system. When certain craftsmen with their basic instruments, they move into society by society. You have seen the filling of quilt and all. Quilt. Today also. Filling of quilt. Today also, till today. These people with the spindle cord and all, they move society by society in the cities with the beginning of winters. Then those people who repair chairs and cots, today you have double beds and all, so their work is over. But initially we had cots, hand woven cots. Then we got folding cots. Today you have double beds. The root cause of all the back problem. All. So domestic system. Now craftsmen, there was no shortage of craftsmen in India. So domestic system. Craftsmen roaming with their basic instruments in urban centers. Craftsmen roaming with their basic instruments in urban centers and providing their services. But then this was for general commodities. Luxury goods putting out. Nobles, sultans, and possibly, put a star, possibly traders and merchants. Possibly, we don't have any evidence. We have evidence during the time of Mughals, trading and merchants. Here we don't have. We have evidences of nobles and sultans establishing what? Karkhanas. Sultans establishing karkhanas. Example, Afif. Example, Afif mentions about Firoz Shah Tughlaq's karkhanas, famous for manufacturing silk clothes and carpet. Afif mentions the karkhanas of Firoz Shah Tughlaq, famous for manufacturing silk clothes and carpets. Role of state in promoting putting out system. Write it down. Role of state in promoting putting out system. Example, state Karkhanas. Promoting putting out system. Karkhanas. Providing, next point, providing law and order. So first point, state promoting putting out system. Example given by Afif. Karkhanas of Firoz Shah Tughlaq, famous for the production of silk clothes and carpets. Second, taxation. Expansion of empire ended What? Number of custom houses. Taxation. Expansion of empire ended number of custom houses. Biggest. Law and order. Law and order. बस इसी क्वेश्चन को पूछा था उसने मेंस में. अर्बन प्रोडक्शन, अर्बन, आराम से, बिल्कुल, मैं बिल्कुल भागने के मूड में नहीं हूं, एकदम नहीं. I will not try to run away. I am not in the mood to run away from this topic because these are the areas of concentration for the next mains. They'll ask you questions from here. They know that this is the very weak areas of, because no notes I have seen in the market who has discussed these things in this way. Have you seen any notes in the market discussing in this way? You will never be able to connect the three: ancient, pre-modern, medieval and medieval. सर 50-50 हजार रुपए फीस दिया लोगों ने, 50,000 for optional. People have paid 50,000 fees. Sir, people have paid 50,000 optional fees. 50. कुछ लोग तो तुम में से इसीलिए आ गए थे कि फीस बहुत कम है, चलो पढ़ ले, नहीं होगा तो भूल जाएंगे, सोच लेंगे पैसा गिर गया. मैं अपने पिताजी का फैन हूं और भगवान राम का. मैं जितना भगवान राम से प्रभावित हूं ना, मतलब भगवान राम का कोई मुकाबला ही नहीं, मतलब मेरी नजर में. हम दो लोगों के फैन हैं, एक भगवान राम के, राजा के बेटे हैं, और भगवान हैं लेकिन लड़ाई लड़ते हैं, कंफर्टेबल जोन छोड़ते हैं. ही गिव्स अस द मैसेज, फर्स्ट मैसेज, कि बेटा राजा बनना है तो कंफर्टेबल जोन छोड़ना पड़ेगा. भगवान बनना है तो भगवान, राजा तो थे ही वो, कि अगर भगवान बनना है तो कंफर्टेबल जोन छोड़ना पड़ेगा. गर्लफ्रेंड साथ में रहे बहुत अच्छी बात है, बीवी साथ में रहे बहुत अच्छी बात है, पर सेंसेस में डूबना नहीं है. उन्होंने कौन सी अपनी बीवी छोड़ दी थी? उन्होंने तो नहीं कहा स्त्री नरक का द्वार है, क्योंकि वो स्त्री को समझते थे कि शी इज अ ह्यूमन बीइंग, कि मतलब है तो चलो साड़ी खरीदवा दो, गहने खरीदवा दो, और मतलब नहीं है तो पैर मार के भगा दो. और जानवर को इंसान बनाने की कला, जानवर से ज्यादा, मतलब पूरे इंसान को लेके गए नहीं लंका, जो जानवरों को वॉरियर बना दे. बंदरों के बल पे पुल बना दिया. अब तो तुम इसे कंसोलिडेट कर लो. और 2 hours लेक्चर इज लेफ्ट. अभी 2 घंटा लगेगा इसको पूरा करने में. थकी होगी.